Oh my God, I look like Jane Fonda. Hello, come on in, you guys. Getting ready to do a different type of video for you guys. You've given me some feedback that you kind of like the kind of blogging video type thing that I do, where I just kind of ramble a little bit, pull a few cards. I'm going to make that a part of my videos. I have the Dead On series and, of course, the tarot. So I'm going to add that in there. Just a little bit of rambling and blogging. Starting my whole day here, actually, because you guys enjoy being part of that. I am getting ready to light some Palo Santo so I can bless, cleanse, and clear my workspace here. I just filled this torch lighter. Come on, booger. Well, now. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to go live. God bless America. Let me pause this and get a better lighter. Okay, we finally have it lit. Gonna let it burn just for a little bit. That's Palo Santo. You can see it is actually a stick, a chunk of wood. That's what I'm using today. It comes in different varieties, and I'm just using this to help bless, cleanse, and neutralize the studio. I do this every time I do a video, every time I do a reading, and I only invite in beings of the light, those of you that follow me. All right, I'm going to let that burn out, and I wanted to bless and cleanse and neutralize the light, and I always take time to do this as a means of protection, because when you are doing any kind of light workers work, God's work, the dark literally is kind of after us. So yeah, they kind of set out, they don't want us, they want the good people, the good guys to win. So always bless, cleanse, and neutralize even your kitchen. If that's your workspace, do make sure you do your little kitchen area. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side, let that go. All right. Spirit, can I feel you? All right. One of the topics that I wanted to hit on today was, as a medium, so many of you come to me and try to connect to, somebody that has it dear to you that's crossed over, mom, dad, child. And one of your biggest fears and concerns is they were by themselves and you feel bad that you weren't there. Whether it was at the hospital, whether it was at the side of the road. You feel bad that they were alone. I want you to know that nobody ever dies alone. Ever. Nobody. Nobody. Usually there's an angel, a specific angel that kind of assists with that, and it is there. But in times of real trauma, your loved ones have told me how surprised they were that Jesus pulled them out of that scene moments before it happened, heartbeats before that happened, because they often tell me that they were over the scene and could describe what was happening. So I want you to know nobody ever passes alone at all. And they are greeted on the other side by the biggest welcoming committee you could imagine. past family members that are already over there. That greatest fifth grade teacher that you had that really inspired you will be there. That kid you grew up with down the block, you know, he tragically died. You're going to get to meet up with him there. You really will be greeted by all the people that you encountered in this lifetime. You're part of a soul group. Kind of came down here to do an assigned task. And we all take on these roles before we come down here. It's almost like a big cast party when they go back over. Because nobody carries over anger and resentment. It just doesn't happen. So if you think that old Uncle Bill would be mad that you didn't carry out his wishes at the funeral, no. You know, they don't carry that grudge over. They let bygones be bygones. Even some of the most horrific things that could happen to a human being in this lifetime, they let it go. It doesn't carry over. All right, what is one of the other topics? Yeah, you can see I'm in my workout gear. I just finished working out. I am starting a kettlebell routine. And I am an old fitness and nutrition buff here. I was a trainer for a brief time. Those of you that follow me know that my oldest son competed in what's known as like World's Strongest Man. And I was a power lifter for a lot of years. I'm still avid into weightlifting, but I am intrigued by kettlebells. They're more of a functional strength, and it's quite a routine because you have to balance and coordinate while you're swinging those things around. You don't want black and blue shins. You don't want the back of your wrist because we kind of flip them around and they bang on your wrist. So you really have to build up some coordination and strength. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you guys about, let's see what card fell out. Queen of Cups. We'll see where that plays in here in a minute. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is just being active, getting active. You know what? All that big hype on TikTok and Facebook about how many steps did you get in today? You just need to get in 2 more, 10 more, or 20 more than yesterday. And if you were only able to take 2 steps yesterday, shoot for double it. Go for 4 steps. Whatever they just go get some steps in, some activity in. It's critical to our health to keep moving. I just read a little bit of a research study, and where was this? Sweden? I forget who did the study now. Okay, I'll have to do my homework. You guys do your homework. Don't believe anybody, okay? But the study was done with a big group of elderly people and aging people, half of whom lived in 2-story houses with steps, and the other half in 1-level living ranch style. The incidence of I love it every time these sort of truth falls out. The incidence of accidents from falling was higher for those folks that lived in the ranch style flat housing. Those folks that had to navigate the steps every day, they stayed stronger. They kept their balance. I follow a fitness guru, Gary Brecka, and he kind of mentions we're killing off our elderly by making grandma comfortable. Well, they're finding out now that cold, there's actually, call it cold fitness. Some people do cold plunges. It stimulates a lot of things, the lymphatic system, so many things in the body. But it literally is exposure to the cold. And what do we do as we get older? We bundle up. So, yeah. The tougher we are, the more we kind of put ourselves through, the stronger we do get. A muscle will deteriorate if you don't bear any weight on it. 10 of Swords. On top of that, Sword of Truth. Yeah, if you don't put weight-bearing load on your bones, they begin to deteriorate. So the longer you sit around, the more deterioration happens. Magician. So I try to stay pretty active because I enjoy doing things. I just enjoy going. So I keep myself physically active and fit. So if you see me with bruised shins somewhere, you will know that the kettlebells, this is crazy. A lot of the very, very similar cards to what I have been pulling the last few days. That is because the energy of the collective overall, we're getting ready to go into some really sticky energy coming into August. You will feel it because we're entering in the early stages of the Mercury retrograde. I don't believe we're quite out of shadow phase until August the 4th, I believe. We come into Mercury retrograde. But the shadow phase is just as heavy, just as awkward for a lot of people as the retrograde. So August is going to get very dense for a lot of you, especially if you have Mercury as one of your ruling planets in your chart. You know, that's really how you can, you know, Mercury retrograde doesn't affect everybody on a personal level. It can affect every line of communication, though. Internet, so we could have internet outages. We could also have power down because that is something that's ruled by the planet Mercury. So yeah, expect the unexpected. We have the Tower card that came up. I'm going to take that one and get it the hell out of here right away, man. It's creeping me out. No. Yeah. I don't think we have seen the chaos like we're going to see in a long time. It got pretty ugly during the 60s and 70s. I remember. old girl was there. Been there, done that. I don't, the chaos and the rioting and the protesting, what we're going to see, we haven't seen for a lot of years. All the different factions that are in our country right now, protesting for things that aren't part of our problem. I'm not, and everybody thinks protesting, it's going to happen also near the next political convention. The next one is the Democratic convention, I believe. Yeah. It doesn't have anything to do with just that. It may happen. That'll give them a target. They hit those political sites because it gets them the most coverage. So I think we are going to see, like I said, the likes of which we haven't seen in a lot of years. The Empress card. all over control. They are losing control of us. More of us are becoming enlightened. I don't even want to use that word woke. Enlightened about what's going into our food sources. I raised my kids on hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. Like I mentioned, one went on to compete a World's Strongest Man. And today's foods are not the same. Those boys were born in the 70s. Those foods are not the same. The chemists that worked for, I have to be careful here because I don't want them to pull this video. The chemists that worked for the tobacco industry that learned the chemical profiles on how to make tobacco and cigarettes so addictive. They knew what to add. They knew how to treat the tobacco, whatever, the paper, however, whatever they did to that to make it more addictive. When the government started to push for more regulation on tobacco and they started to squelch that industry, those chemists had to go to work somewhere, and they went to work in the food industry. They were hired to learn how to make people want to come back for more. The guy that invented the Oreos, I'm just throwing that out there, even back in those days, he knew something. So most of the foods you find in the center aisles of your supermarket are mass engineered, chemically altered, loaded with preservatives. They are not as good for us as they used to be. I have to be careful how I say things. Use your judgment, educate yourself. If you're starting to try to go organic, you don't have to jump in it all at once and throw everything out of the cupboard. The first time you get organic bananas, do you know the difference? Even though the price looks like it's a big amount, 30 cents a pound more or something, when the bananas hit the scale, it's only like 20 or 30 cents more, okay? Because that's per pound. So start replacing one thing at a time. I only buy when I can get organic, as far as fruits and vegetables. You even have to be careful buying at local food markets because they ship a lot of that stuff in, and it's not organic, it's not homegrown. It may be. So just do your homework. Do your homework. We're finding out we cannot trust. First, it was medicine. Then we are finding out that the Food and Drug Administration were all connected and we can't trust the food. The next thing that's going to come up that we're going to find out we can't trust is more organized religion. Ace of Swords. We are going to see a few more religions fall to the wayside. Because of Bible doctrine. Granted, the book's got a lot of good guidelines in it, but it's still not what was originally meant for us to see and know, okay? At some point, the real doctrine was censored, abridged, translated, then probably translated back again. And what we're getting is not the full thing. So again, educate yourself. So we're going to see a fall to the wayside coming of organized religion. The magician, yeah. We are going to see that a lot of the smoke and mirrors that they have been presenting in some of these big mega churches is showmanship. We may see somebody fall to the wayside here. I am kind of channeling this message as it comes through about this organized religion. No attack, man. I'm a spiritualist, and I know where God's with me all the time, and I'm wherever I'm at, God is. So I don't make an assault on anybody else. I'm also a biker, and we are absolutely free. Freedom. We don't judge. We don't judge. So I have nothing against any religions, but we are going to see, man, I hope that's not the Catholic Church. Okay, yeah, it might be. Ten of Swords. We may see something come out again about something very negative of the Catholic Church. And I'm going to tell you, as a psychic, there is a very dark side of the Catholic, every church. But there is a dark side of the Catholic Church. Deeper than what you may think. Yeah, that's a 10, and that 10 is about a sword in the back. You know what? You had us believing you. We'll feel betrayed about whatever it is we feel, or whatever comes out. However, we have the Queen of Cups also here. If you look closely at that cup, the way it's depicted, those are angel wings and not claws. And the cup itself is kind of supposed to represent love. I think it is a time where each one of us needs to reach deeper and deeper in ourselves and figure out what we believe in, who we believe in. If it's not based on love, it won't work. It's not the right thing. No matter what religion you choose to follow, it's got to be based on love. God is love. We have the Six of Wands. The Six is definitely a victory for us. There will be a change in that religion, and we're going to find more people finding God, because the sign over the door didn't fit for them. I like people that ride Hondas. But if the sign over the door didn't fit, somebody may not have attended your church. If they thought they couldn't be up to your standards, they may not have entered your church. So we have a victory overall coming, more people coming to God. Wow. Fool card, absolutely. A new beginning coming. We are right out on the edge of that precipice with that Fool. And that doesn't mean somebody that's dumb. It just means somebody that's brand new. Kind of ignorant because they haven't learned anything yet. And that's all ignorance is you haven't learned it yet. And look at the 0 way up over his head. Can I pull that in? I just talked about more people coming to God. That 0 represents God. I posted a video over on Facebook about some woman that was trying to get her taxes in order because she's doing something like what I do and used to work in finance. And when she was talking to her lawyer about getting an LLC started, he said, she worked in a bank. He said, you're finally leaving the devil's work and going to do God's work. Wow. Impacted me a lot. A lot of you don't realize that what a good medium and psychic, we always try to bring you to God first. All right. King of Wands. I don't think we're going to be looking up at a man for inspiration anymore. We are going to be looking up to the King. Jesus, Yahshua, however you choose to pronounce him. Yep, it's coming. The Tower card again, confirming the Tower that came up earlier. Yeah, Jesus. Yep. We had the 10 of Swords earlier. Now we have the 9. We're in that pre-phase of still have the jitters. Getting ready to wrap up a lot of old cycles in this country. That jitters that everybody is feeling, and you guys are going to feel it more than anybody. Like I mentioned before, if you've been following me, you are leveling up. You're ascending. You're able to channel and feel things. You may be feeling very anxious and nervous because you're feeling everybody else's confusion and chaos. And we have the Justice card. Everything will be okay. It'll balance. The yin and the yang always does. The light and the dark always balances. It'll be okay. All right, there you have it. Kind of a nice long video blog to get you guys, some of you that are addicted to the vlog kind of thing. Drop down, hit that like button. Please share these videos. And I never leave you that I don't bless you with love and sincerely with light. See you soon.